Hi, my name is Silent Dad. This video will contain solutions for the exercises in the C programming language book by Kernighan and Ritchie. Exercise 1-18. Write a program to remove trailing blanks and tabs from each line of input and to delete entirely blank lines. So again, we're going to use the longest line program as a template. Okay. So now that we have the longest line program, let's continue with the exercise. Okay, now so since you're going to remove the trailing blanks and tabs from each line of input, what are we going to do? Okay, so for in every line, the trailing tab or a trailing blank is a blank or a tab that is present after the last printing character in a line. So when I say printing character, those characters that can be printed on the screen. So the non-printing characters are tabs, blanks, and new lines. So every blanks and two tabs that are present after the last non-printing after the last printing character in a line is considered a trailing blank or a trailing tab. So so we're going to go through all the characters in an array, starting with the element that is uh, immediately preceding the new line character. Then then we'll go backward up to the first element in the array to test if it is a new line or if it is a blank or a tab. So let's try to put that into code. So starting at the element right before the new line character, which is len -2, since at the element len or the we have the null character, and at the element len -1 we have the new line character. So at the element len -2, we're going to start testing that those characters up to the first element or the zeroth element. So let's starting with len -2 up to, and we're going to add a condition if the line at len is equal to tab or blank, or line at len is equal to tab. So since we're going from the last up to the first, we're going to decrement len. Now since all the operation is already done inside the condition, we just add a null statement. Okay, so now that we have the length which does not contain the trailing blanks or lines, we're going to insert again the new line and the null character at the end. So let's increment the length, and then line at len is equal to new line, Then let's insert again. Okay, now that we have inserted the new line and the null character, let's test. Let's include the condition in the exercise to says to delete entirely blank lines. So a blank line is a line with a length of 1, so we're going only to print those lengths that are greater than 1. Since we're not going to need use this, let's delete, and this. Okay, now we not have a problem here, so how are we going to test? So let's put another array that let's copy the array. So let's create a copy of the array. So okay, so let's create a copy of the original line. This is just for testing purposes. After testing, we can delete that, or we can just include this line so that we preserve the original line. Let's name this already. Okay. Okay, so let's add a testing mechanism and delete it after we perform the test. So this is the original line, and this is the modified line. So let's try to compile. So let's compile and see what will be the output. Max, okay. Okay, let's remove this variable. Okay, so let's try. So let's try a trailing tab and space after this letter. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if we're going to include the new line, we have 11 characters, and the output should be 2. Okay, good. So assuming that we have a all the we have a line that contains only line and new tab line blanks and tabs. So 1 2 3 tabs, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 blanks, including the new line. We have 10. The length of the original line is 10, and the output should be, it should not produce an output because the output will be 1 here. Good. So let's try a input line of new line only. Okay, yeah. So there should be output. Okay, so let's try on a file. So let's delete this. Just for testing only. That's for testing only. Okay, so let's create a file that will save our output, and then let's test it, compare it side by side. Okay, so then okay, notice that in our, this is our original file, there is a line that is a blank line, or a line that contains only a new line character, line 3 and line 4. Now in our output, or the modified line where the new line, a blank line, is deleted, the line number 3 doesn't contain, we don't have any blanks between the lines. Okay, so you'll notice here that we didn't include a mechanism that will test if the line, the input line, is greater than our limit. So because in this case we're just going to assume the same assumption that the author uses in its longest line program. And also this statement, the copy, we don't need to use this copy statement. We just use this to create a copy for testing, for comparison purposes. So in actuality we don't need this if, because we already answer the we already satisfy the requirements of the exercise without having to get a copy of the original line. So we can either delete this, array, this copy function, this statement, and this copy definition. So that will be all for now, and I hope you learned something.